Okay, so I am back with more old Game Informers. I got three to check out this time. We got this one, which is about the cover stories from Russia with Love, which I don't really care about. This one is God of War. This one has Resident Evil 5 on there, so I gotta take a look at that. And just like last time, I have an older one that I tracked down online that I have not looked in, but I wanted it because of the cover, and it is Dino Crisis 2. One of my favorite series. I love Dino Crisis, so I thought this would just be kind of cool to have. So let's dig in. So we're going to start with issue 144, which is the Sean Connery James Bond game that they made. Right at the top here, it says the future of gaming, next generation next. I don't know who that is. I don't know what game that's from, so that clearly was not the future of gaming. Oh, right off the bat, we got Republic Commando, which is a pretty neat little game. Now, I don't know much about wrestling, but I think that might be Chris Benoit, who's the only wrestler I know because of, well, obvious reasons. Dhoom 3, I remember being very excited when that came out, and me and a friend played it. This is more of like a survival horror game, which I kind of really appreciated, because obviously that's right up my alley. Game Enforcer. I'm sure that's just absolutely hysterical. We got some people. There's Stan Lee, who's a gigantic fraud. Is that Igarashi? Koji Igarashi, yep. Alright, well here's the thing that was on the cover, and this guy, who I was gonna say, he looks kind of like a Gears of War character, and then it says Epic's Unreal Engine 3. So yeah, I guess he's some Unreal character, or he was just a test character, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. They just showed off Unreal, 5 yesterday? So... Wait a minute, Condemned was a Sega game? I don't remember that at all. Mario Kart gets Pac-Man Fever. I think this is the arcade. Yeah, Mario Kart Arcade GP. I think I played that once. If it's the same one, because I remember Pac-Man being in it. I played it at Dave & Buster's, probably within the last, 5 to 6 years. I remember renting this game when it came out, playing it in, a weekend. Here we've got an ad for the PSP where it looks like someone is watching Advent Children. So there's that. That's really, at the end of the day, all that I used the PSP for was watching the UMD movies. We got another dead guy there. So here's the big cover story. It's James Bond, which I've never been into. I know one line, one of the famous Sean Connery lines, which is from, I think it's from Russia with Love. It's the line where he says, "You're the man now, dog." That might be from The Rock. Maybe I'm thinking of "We named the dog Indiana." Oh, here we go. This looks funny. This looks hilarious. Ooh, taters. Oh, solid Metal Gear Solid 4. They fight dinosaurs. Oh, look at this. The Nick of all cosmos. I was overjoyed to hear that John Moore is doing a film adaptation of Namco's Quirkfest. What? While initial rumors seem to indicate the part will go to irresistibly classy industry veteran Michael Caine, many were surprised when... I don't know why I'm reading this as Nick Cage. So the joke there is that, oh look, the director Hugh Jazz and Mike Roch. Star Wars Dengar Strike 3, The Search for Nia Nub. Wait, this is just like a real ad now. You can't put that in the middle of it. There have just been pages upon pages of games that I've just never heard of. Ooh, Killer 7. This is a great game. This was one of the Capcom 5. But I guess... I didn't know that it had a PS2 release date before the game came out. Yeah, I don't know. This was, I think, one of, if not the first, like, big releases for Suda51. That is a great game. I think I said it even in the last one, that was one. Oh! Haunting Ground! I love this. This is, again, one of my favorite games of all time. Kind of a little bit more obscure, but Haunting Ground is absolutely one of my favorite games. It's really hard to come across. If you can find it for cheap, it's really good. I think it's on... No. It's on the Japanese PlayStation Network, but Haunting Ground is such a great game. I love this game. I wish that they would remaster it or something. I don't know if remaking it would be good, but they should definitely do something. Make it more readily available, because that is a game that deserves to be played more. What the fuck am I looking at? Samurai Legend Musashi. Cutting-edge samurai action. That is one of the most horrific pieces of artwork I've ever seen. That is a bad design. Is this connected to the Brave Fencer Musashi? Because I remember that's a game on, like, the PS1, but that looks nothing like it. Wait a minute. Gaikuten Saiban. That's first off, I think, spelled wrong. I think it's Saiban. This is Ace Attorney. But why does it have the... Oh, maybe it was never released on the Game Boy Advance over here? Promised the DS was going to be the home of innovative new concepts. Part Law and Order, part Speed Racer? What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, well, Ace Attorney. I guess that's the first little look of Ace Attorney. That's pretty cool. I feel like Doom 3 is always looked at as, like, the black sheep of the family, but it's got a 9.25, which is pretty good, and the Second Opinion has the same score. So, I don't know. Apparently, it was well received. I don't remember that being the case. Why can't I turn the goddamn page? Oh, Matrix Online! Look, it's the Merovingian. It's the Oracle. You've got some Agent Smith-looking guy. I don't know who that's supposed to... I always wanted to play the Matrix Online, but I've never liked MMOs. The Matrix is online. Jack in now. Jack off now. Here's Twilight Princess before it even had a name. Incredibly detailed images that filled the trailer at E3 2004. That trailer, that video, is still one of my favorites. Because you can hear the audience reaction. I think it's one of the best of all time, and I would recommend looking that video up. Great! I'll grab my stuff! Alright, here we go. Here's some trivia. I'm going to attempt to do these. I can answer this one. The little-known N64 game Clay Fighters was not only a blockbuster video rental-only title, but also featured which famous playable game character? I am 100% certain it was Earthworm Jim, because I remember playing that game a ton. And that's that. Oh, Devil May Cry 3! Look at that! Woo! Wahoo! Alright, so here we go. We got the Game Informer with Resident Evil 5. Just the word Resident Evil 5, really. They might just be saying that. Might not be in here. That's probably... Oh, there it is. This was a great ad campaign. I remember this. This was great. They had, like, this actor play Chris, like, after the game, which I think was interesting, that the ad campaign took place after the game, so it was like Chris came back from Kajuju and was just, like, crazy, or he was just, like, traumatized, basically. Oh, I got really excited, but it's Chop Till You Drop, which is an inferior version of the original game. Sick to death of music games. Was there an overabundance of that on the Wii? Because I think that's what this is supposed to be. Doesn't get a whole lot worse than Super Mario Bros. It didn't even resemble the game in any meaningful way, although Princess Toadstool was hot. Princess Toadstool was not in the movie. It was actually Daisy, so I don't know what version of the movie that guy watched. Oh man, look at this! Battlefront 3's Last Stand. Ex-developer Free Radical struggles with project. So this, I don't know what build of this is. I don't know if this is the one that had all those videos leak a couple years ago. But there's Han Solo. That doesn't even look like him. So yeah, that's interesting. I haven't seen any of this in a long time. Early artwork depicted an old Obi-Wan who had turned to the dark side of the Force. That would have been interesting. I mean, I'm not one of those who's like super upset with what we got, like with the new DICE games. I think they're pretty good, specifically the second one. But yeah, it would have been neat to see that. Holy crap, Resident Evil 5 releases today. I remember that specifically. It was a Friday the 13th, and this whole week I had the flu really badly, and I dragged myself out of bed to go pick up Resident Evil 5 because I couldn't miss that. Wait, did Watchmen come out? What? Watchmen came out a week before Resident Evil 5. Wow, I don't remember that at all. Here we go. We got another Resident Evil 5 thing here. We got the Executioner. We got the part where you gotta wait for Josh to open up. We don't usually like to tease our readers about the hot new games we're playing, but holy crap, we just played through the first half of Resident Evil 5. It's interesting, because they're talking about... Well, that's the thing, is that Resident Evil 5 never got, like, bad reviews. It's just people were like, yeah, it's not Resident Evil. Which I always thought was just dumb. If it's a good game, it's a good game. Oh, this is a game I've been wanting to play with Chris on the channel for, like, a really long time. Because I played this when it came out. It's, like, super short. The only thing I remember is that the final boss, you have to fight, like, Woodward and Bernstein from the Watergate scandal. The people who broke that story, or like maybe you had to protect them. All I remember is that Woodward and Bernstein were in it, and I think that's very strange. But yeah, I've been wanting to re-download that and play that with Chris. So maybe after the pandemic, maybe that'll happen. Every time I pass one of these wrestling games, I gotta look for Chris Benoit. Here's another trivia section where I can only answer one of the questions, which is, in which game do you first find Samus Aran decked out in this little specific, specially colored number? That would be Metroid Fusion. And, hey, Mad World, I just played this. Lose 20 pounds in 5 seconds, ask me how. That is a good game. And yeah, I just played that. That was like the last game that I played before the world went to hell. Kind of ironic that it turned into a Mad World. So here we go. We got Dino Crisis 2. Not as good as Dino Crisis 1, but I still really like it. It's easier, it's shorter, but it's a good game. I haven't looked through this one at all. I found this online, just like the last one. So that's a Dino Crisis guy right there. And we got Mario Tennis, which is fun. It's the first game Waluigi was in. Maybe they'll say something like, I don't know if this character's going to last very long. That'd be quite ironic. Here's a cool little picture of Metal Sonic with Pikachu for some reason. A turning point for Capcom's survival mode. Even though it's the second game? Yeah, Dino Crisis 2 may be too much of a shift. Others might believe there's a new direction that all Capcom survival games... Yeah, that's true. That kind of is true, yeah. Actually, I never really even thought of that. Regina, she's 24. She's accomplished more in 24 years than I have in 26, so that's just sad. Actually, all of these characters, because he's 25 and he's 23. Man, oh man. So this is kind of like the Resident Evil one, or the Resident Evil 2 one that we looked at last time, where it's just kind of like, hey, here's some weapons. But let's see here. A year after her successful mission to capture Dr. Kirk, the true identity of this Dino Crisis veteran is still clouded in secrecy. As an expert in stealth missions, she has again been enlisted by a government espionage agency to explore the strange occurrences surrounding the third energy experiments. Quick with the trigger and swift on her feet, Regina is the queen of dinosaur combat. Her cool judgment in any situation is her biggest strength. And I think that's the last time we see Regina. These are good scores, I guess. 8.5, 9.25, 8.75. It's a good looking game. I like the location, but the lab location, I think, of the first one I really like. I just like how weird it is just to see dinosaurs running around in like an umbrella lab, basically. Even if this one is a little bit more appropriate, I guess. But it is a good game. It's just different from the first one. Is that it? That can't be it. It is! What the fuck? It's like 2 pages. Paul for president. Well, I don't know who this guy is, but I would much rather vote for him than anyone we got going on in 2020 right now. That, Bill Clinton, President Ladies Man, is maybe not great. That's maybe not a great little thing there. That joke, I do not believe, has aged well. Jeffrey Epstein. This is... Oh, this is SP? Mario Kart Advance. That doesn't even look like the game. That must be really early. And it was before it was called Mario Kart SP, I think? Or was it Advanced SP? There's another... Oh, is this Illbleed? Recently canceled Dreamcast games. Illbleed wasn't canceled. Right? Illbleed is on the Dreamcast. I don't know what they're talking about. Oh, here we go. Mario Tennis. Oh, and Majora's Mask. 8.25, that's fine. Yeah, for a Mario sports game. I would give it more like a 7.25. I'm trying to do like word search. I'm looking for Waluigi. I just want to see if they have something funny to say about him. There he is. There he is. I love that game. That is a very nostalgic game for me, for sure. And then we got Majora's Mask. We got some stores that don't exist anymore. Funko Land. I don't think I've ever been to a Funko Land. Babbage's I've never heard of. So that's fun. Look at these incredibly detailed faces. I mean, that one I can kind of make out. That looks like Judi Dench, right? I think. Hey, it's me, Regis Philbin. Someone fucked up my face. Oh no! Hell yeah, dude. I love this game. Spider-Man. Now bump that up. Make that a 9.25. I freaking love this game. That was one of my favorite childhood games. I loved it on the N64. It's good on PS1. Probably better on PS1. Along with Stan Lee's voice, some of Marvel's finest have cameos. Hey, true believers, did you know that I didn't really do any of the work when creating Spider-Man? Hey, JC Denton. Crash Bash, Don't Care. Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX. That was when they were trying to make like a bunch of Tony Hawk's games. Like spin-off type games. And now that we're seeing those remastered, remade, or whatever, I think that's going to be pretty fun. Although I don't know why they didn't include Tony Hawk 3 in that. These are all games. I mean, okay, D2. This is the first game in like pages that I actually know. They made a 3D Echo the Dolphin game? I didn't know that. I'm sure that was a killer app on the Dreamcast, I'm sure. Look at how bad of an image that is. That looks like it was printed off in like the wrong colors. Look at how many wrestling games. There have been so many different wrestling games. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. So that's pretty cool. We're going to be seeing that again. Those are great games. They never quite ever like matched the original feeling of like those original 3 games, and I guess the Underground games too. So we got like some of the different kinds of monsters here. It did have way more variety in the dinosaurs in this game, because I feel like also Giganotosaurus is just fun to say. It was just like Velociraptors and T-Rex was basically all you fought in the first game. So this is just another walkthrough that's just kind of spoilery, just like they did in Resident Evil 2. This is like, yeah, basically showing everything. There we go. Pat Labor, which showed up in that weird City Shrouded in Shadow game that I played, which I thought were Gundams, but obviously they were not. Mario World. This is their classic little thing here, which I guess even at the time that was classic, even though it was probably just a couple years earlier. And that's it. Power Stone, another great Capcom game. I think that was done by Hideaki Itsuno, who went on to do Devil May Cry 3, 4, and 5. Huh. But, yep, that's that. I feel like there wasn't as much to work with this time. Like, I accidentally blew the load the first time, where, there was a lot more to talk about in the other ones. I also curated only 3 this time, because I feel like the last one went on, like, way too long. Because I picked, like, 4 magazines to look through. But, yeah, there you go. I don't know, I'm kind of having fun doing these different videos. So, if you like seeing this kind of stuff, maybe I'll do more. I think I've ran out of game... I still have plenty of Game Informers, but they're more recent. And they're not... I don't think it's going to be as interesting to look through them, because it's just like, hey, remember this game that came out 2 years ago? I don't think that would be nearly as interesting. So, yeah, let me know if you like this kind of stuff. I'll try and figure something out. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.